Hello fellows and welcome back to a new video. So today my video will be about fail stacking and enhancing. A very heavy requested video since a lot of people know that I really into enhancing, I really enjoy it. It's like the side product I always enjoy to do in this game besides grinding and some PvP. So yeah, there's of course a little bit of struggle for some people because they don't know how to fail stack the right way or how to get to a certain point with fail stack. Where should I stop? Where should I click what? And so on and so on. And after some research, after some talk with some friends and also with some well-known names from PC in terms of enhancing, I let's say developed this enhancing strategy. Also, one way I will show you is completely done by GTL Empire. So thanks for that, buddy. I hope you find when I'm sharing it in this video. So first off, let's start with the first topic of enhancing or fail stacking. Like a little bit of general information. What is the key of fail stacking? Because that's a lot of people misunderstand what this is about. A lot of people are annoyed by the fact that like stuff going up all the time when they're trying to reach a certain amount of fail stack. So what do we want to achieve then? The first thing you always have to keep in mind that let's say we want to get a 50 stack. Till we get the 50 stack, a lot of stuff will probably upgrade till we get there. So every success in fail stacking needs to be efficient. Like if you succeed on something, it has to be efficient in another way later on. So for example, if you're failing dual reblast, what do you do with dual reblast later? What do you do with tri reblast later? Or if you have boss gear or a black star or so on. So every succeed in enhancing needs to serve another way in fail stacking. So, and once you have like realized this and made your fail stacking very efficient, you're not getting annoyed too much when stuff goes up, because you always know, okay, this went up, no problem, I will need it later. I think that was clear enough what I wanted to say with this. So let's jump into the next topic, where we go over the stuff you need to have or you have to prepare before you start your fail stacking enhancing session. Okay, first off, very obviously, right? We need blackstones. Which blackstones you use is completely up to you. I usually use the blackstone armors because the weapon blackstones I always use for Kefras, and the armor ones I always have enough of them usually. But like I said, which blackstones you want to use, it's completely up to you. It's probably even better to use weapon blackstones, because the next item you need for fail stacking is a ton of concentrated magical blackstones armor. And these are made by blackstone armor and hard black crystal shards. And since you need a lot of them for fail stacking, I really recommend that you probably use the weapon blackstones you get from grinding for getting the fail stack, and the armor blackstones you can use for melting them down, heating them down to get concentrated magical blackstones armor. Alright, next up is, of course, we need memory fragments to repair the gear, the boss gear we are fail stacking on. And this is a subtopic, let's put it that way, because I will show you two ways. One way is with a black star included and one way is without a black star. So if you're looking to do the first method I will show you, you need a black star, and therefore you also need flawless magical blackstones. Those are made out of one hard black crystal shard, one sharp black crystal shard, and one mass of pure magic. Mass of pure magic you basically drop everywhere on every grind spot. Some grind spots dropping them more, some less. And also there are several nodes in the game where you can send your workers to and they get them for you. Alright, and now in terms of gear, what gear do I need for fail stacking? So I recommend at least having 9 Pry Reblast pieces. You can go with less, of course. It's completely up to you how many Reblasts you want to use. But to make the fail stacking a little bit more, let's say, enjoyable or less stressful, it's always better to have a lot of Reblasts prepared, because Reblasts, you know it, will go up very quite often. So it's better to be prepared, otherwise you will run into some issues later on, but I will also show you how to solve them. Okay, if you have prepared the Reblasts, next up I recommend to have at least 2 boss gear armor pieces. What armor pieces you're going for is completely up to you. The market is quite steady on the boss gear pieces, so just watch out which are maybe on Pry on the market or Duo. If you don't bother to enhance them from base, just buy them base and enhance them to Pry. I always keep my eyes out for Pries and Duos and just buy them, because I don't want to get through the struggle till plus 50. But that's up to you. Okay, and lastly, I recommend to have 1 Black Star weapon on Pry. Like I said in the beginning, this is a sub item. You don't have to have a Black Star weapon, but in terms of fail stacking, it's more efficient to have a Black Star. Let's put it that way. But like I said, you still can pull off the fail stacking method I will show you without a Black Star weapon. Alright, now we have everything prepared, so let's talk about the way how we want to fail stack. Alright then, now where we have sorted all the enhancing stuff we need for fail stacking, let's dive into the different methods you can do while fail stacking and how do you progress through them. So on your screen you see the first method I prefer to enhance. This method is the most silver consuming one, because it's the most expensive one for sure, but it's also the most efficient one if you're aiming to get a 200 plus fail stack, or let's say even if you're aiming to get a 180 or 190. This is the way to go if you really want to be, let's say, best way to be efficient to get that thing. So first off, we start off with a 20 stack. We get that through the enhancing window. We are consuming 33 Blackstone armors or weapons, whatever you want. And then we have our 20 fail stack. On this 20 fail stack, we failed 2 times a Pry Reblast piece. Then we are on the 26 stack. On the 26 stack, we are failing 2 times a Pry Boss Gear. And then we are on a 32 stack, where we fail 2 times a Pry Black Star weapon. And then we are on a 38 stack, and on the 38 stack we are looking forward to fail 3 times a boss gear piece to try. And then we are on the 50 stack, where we can fail our Reblast helmets to TED, which we got over the curse of fail stacking. So we end up on a 65 stack, and this 65 stack is our starting point for our Try Black Star attempts. We are going for 4 attempts in total on this stack, so we get to an 85 stack. Once we have the 85 stack, we are failing 5 times our boss gear to TED, so we end up on a 110 stack. You could also do you could also go till 100, so you're failing 3 times TED boss gear on it, and you have a 100 stack, and then you can also fail 2 TED Reblasts on it if you want to. If you get some TED Reblasts over the curse of fail stacking and you don't know what to do with them, you can just tap them on them. Then you of course don't have a 110 stack, then you would have had 112 stack. Alright, and when we are at the 112 stack, we are going to fail 8 times maximum. You can also start earlier with 10 boss gear, but I personally like to try 8 times TED Black Star on it. Then we are at the 150 stack, and everything above the 150 stack is only worth it to tap pen boss gear on it. This is because of the price difference. If it succeeds, if the pen boss gear succeeds, you get way more money than a Ted Blackstar. So after 150, only tap pen boss gear. Yeah, and if you reach the 200 stack, once you have the 200 stack, it's a little bit tricky there, because some people say it's not worth it to go anymore for pen boss gear, because imagine you have a 220 stack and you want to have a 240 or something like that, and a pen boss gear would go up, would succeed. You're pretty much losing money, because the overall stack is much more worth than the actual pen boss gear you achieved. So it's a little bit tricky there. I usually stop at 200 if I'm there. But if you really want to push the limit, you can also just keep going till the stack where you want to get. Alright, so this is method 1. Now let's jump into method 2. So this method is the best method for getting a 110 plus stack, or if you really just want to focus to get Ted boss gear. So on a 20 stack, we are failing 3 times the Pry Reblast, so we are at the 29 stack. Then we have 3 attempts on Pry boss gear. Then we'll have a 38 stack. On this, we're failing again 3 times Try boss gear attempts. So we are again at the 50 stack. On the 50 stack, we're failing 3 times Ted Reblast helmet attempt. And once we have the 65 stack, we are failing 7 times Ted boss gear on it, and when we are on the 100 stack, we are failing 2 times the Ted Reblast helmet. So we have our 112 stack. So there are also 2 different things you can do. You can also push to 110 with just Ted boss gear. If you don't have Ted Reblast, you can fail on pen. Just go with the normal boss gear then. What you can also do is, once you can also, if you really want to have the boss gear succeed, you can also put 10 Valks early on the 65 stack, for example. So you're already at 75, so you're only failing 5 times the Ted boss gear. But as I mentioned out in the beginning, only put Valks in the fail stacks if you really want something to succeed, because it will boost your enhancement rate. And if you're really looking forward to get a 110 stack, then better don't use Valks. Alright, so now there are some scenarios, of course, where you maybe run out of Pry Reblast and so on and so on, if like everything is succeeding and you run out of the actual stacks you need for them. So I have prepared something else that too. So what if you're only left with Duo Reblast? So if you don't have any more Pry Reblast pieces in your inventory, I usually do it like I still take a 20 stack. I failed 3 times a Duo Reblast helmet on it, so we get a 32 fail stack. And as you already see in the numbers, I'm always aiming for the same fail stack. So we are again at the 32. We're failing 2 times Duo boss gear, so we are back again on the 38. So we have 3 attempts for Try boss gear there till we have the 50 stack. And once we have the 50 stack, you can continue either way with the method 1 or 2, because you got some Pry Reblast back. If you don't have any more Pry boss gear, for example, like if all of your boss gear succeeded to Duo and you don't have a 38 stack, you can always supplement your boss gear with Reblast. So you could just then go with 3 Reblast fails on Duo. So you're doing the method 2 again, but instead of failing 2 times Duo boss gear, you're just failing 2 times Duo Reblast again. And in terms of method 1, if your Blackstar is Duo but you don't have a 65 stack for failing it to Try, then you just switch from method 1 to method 2, because in method 2 you don't need a Blackstar for enhancing, so you just take everything else what you have, and once you have reached the Try stack, the 65 stack, you can just fail your Blackstar on that. There are also, of course, some more scenarios, but there are like too many scenarios I could explain how to solve them, right? So sometimes it's just, you just look in your inventory and then you decide what you have there and what you can do. But these are the most commons, and these are my recommendations for it. Alright then, and this is the end of my Failstacking enhancing guide. I hope I was able to help you out, guys, in terms of Failstacking and achieving your next goal. If you have any kind of questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm here for you. I'm glad to help you out. Don't forget to like the video if it was helpful for you, and maybe consider to subscribe to my channel. We are on the way to 400 subscribers, so maybe we can achieve this goal in a certain time. Also, make sure to tune in sometimes into my streams. I recently started streaming, where I mainly going on to treasure hunters at the moment. I just finished the Autobot, and now I'm aiming for the map. So yeah, would be nice to meet you there in my live stream. Otherwise, we'll see us in the next video. Have a good one. See you next time. Cheers, guys.